Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vani Mataji, Vani Ram Mataji wanted to follow after me. You can do that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you, Vaniram Mataji. Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for today's session on Bhagavad Gita. And thank you all for accommodating this time. It was not a usual time that we do, but it's so nice that most of you are able to attend. So let me share the screen. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं तत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So we are in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge. So it is kind of intriguing to see that this is called most confidential knowledge. And we earlier we discussed about this, that what is why this is called most confidential knowledge. If this is called most confidential knowledge, there should be something called confidential knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, and also more confidential knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, because this is the supermost, which is called most confidential. So can somebody remember what we discussed about this? There was one question that Malti Mataji was also earlier asked, and I tried to address that in that context. If anybody remembered that, that's good. Which part of that we can consider it as confidential, more confidential, most confidential? Yes. Anybody remembers? Yeah, nobody remembers that. Yeah, Snehal Mataji, you go ahead first.
Prabhuji, knowledge of matter and spirit confidential.
Okay, very nice.
And knowledge of bhakti more confidential.
Okay.
And knowledge of pure bhakti most confidential.
Fantastic, Mataji. So 100 marks to you.
Thank you.
So very nice. Actually, this is what there is nothing more I could add what Snehal Mataji has added. So just to reiterate what Mataji has said for my purification. See, and from the chapter's perspective also, let us discuss. The first chapter is the introduction to Bhagavad Gita in one way. You can say that. Second and third chapter describe the spiritual knowledge, as Snail Mataji rightly mentioned about the body and spirit. So that's called spiritual knowledge. And this is called Guhyam. Guhyam means confidential knowledge, because prior to this, you don't know that this is there is something called spirit. And I was thinking all the time that I am this body only. So in that way, it is confidential, not available everywhere. So it is confidential knowledge. So chapter 2 and 3 in one way is called confidential knowledge. Okay. Then coming to chapter 7 and 8 are basically specifically relates to devotional service, and they are being enlightened, basically enlightenment in Krishna consciousness. They are more confidential. So since they are talking about devotional service, because till that time you didn't know what is devotion, to whom I should devote. That kind of a thing was not revealed, though it is not at that level of details, but devotional service detail is what they have talked about. And that can be considered as more confidential, and this is called Guhyataram. Guhyataram is what the actual Sanskrit word for these two chapters, that is more confidential. And the 9th chapter, which is what we are going to deal now, which is, you see the exactly Krishna's arrangement. Out of the 18 chapters, exactly in the middle is what the most confidential knowledge has been kept. See how when you are giving the information also, how precisely Krishna has managed to put, you see that. So it deals with matters related to, as Mataji has rightly mentioned, unalloyed pure devotion. In this called Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti. You call it right, Shuddha Ghee. So similarly, Shuddha Bhakti is what unalloyed devotion service or pure devotion is what is talked about. And this is what is most confidential. And today we will also see that why it is called most confidential, why it is so secret. That also we discussed little bit on the other day. If somebody remembers, that's good. If not, we'll reiterate. So why it is to be called as most confidential? That means, is it not so easy to get it? Is that what it means, or something else? Yeah. Anybody would like to add anything, please do.
Prabhuji, if we know someone very closely, then only we will reveal that secret, right?
Very nice, Prabhu. Very good. So actually, Krishna also mentions in the first sloka itself why he wanted to reveal this most confidential knowledge. And he tells that I am revealing it to you because you have this characteristic 1, 2, 3. So that way, what he said is correct. I would not like to give it to anybody. But again, you may say that, see, Arjuna was there on the battlefield, and this Bhagavad Gita is there in our hands. So it is no more most confidential now. Why it is? Because all the slokas are there here. How is it confidential? That too, most confidential. One last try, anybody? And we'll go ahead.
It's not easy to perceive by limited perception.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Malti Mataji. After that, any other Mataji wanted? Prabhuji.
Our own endeavor, we cannot get it, Prabhuji. So only knowing completely about the absolute truth, only one becomes surrender and very dear to Krishna. Those persons only understand this devotional service.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. Yes. Any other try? Anybody? Yeah. Good. These are all right answers. No doubt about it. Yeah.
We will not get the knowledge only by reading. We should be studying it.
Okay. That's right.
Prabhuji, and it is that if we read it like that, we may take it as just as an any other thing, rather than really understanding. And as I said, we have to get into the spirit of this thing, we have to purify ourselves and get into all the stages of becoming confidential, more confidential and most confidential. To achieve that, the ladders have to be climbed. So person who is directly reading might be taking it as any other story type of thing and may not take it as seriously. So it will be possible to understand only if you do that penance of learning and understanding and reaching that through a proper path.
Okay,
Maybe.
very nice. Thank you, Mataji, Preeti Mataji.
I have a question, Prabhuji. Is it like Krishna is trying to say that from this point it is about doing and it's not the jnana that is going to help so much?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Can I say so? I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. So one of the things we need to understand, and this is where you need to start speaking out and you need to start revealing yourself. Now we will see that why Krishna is saying that this is most confidential. Whatever you said is there, but again, Krishna is going to reveal why it is most confidential. Just pay very good attention, and because this is what we are lacking in our life, or this is where we need to really get. Once you get this unalloyed pure devotion, right, and how to achieve that is also what Krishna is going to speak. And if you pay this and understand this, our life is going to transform. And that's the, and Krishna is saying the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is what I am going to give you in this particular chapter. So how important is this? So that is the reason why you need to pay attention. And I asked you for this question for a specific reason. Now dovetail yourself and find out where is that my understanding is and what is Krishna is trying to say. Okay. Just please and raise the right kind of questions if you have any, because this is a very important chapter. Okay. So this is all what we have seen. Okay. So we will see that later. Okay. So the acronym for this particular chapter goes with king. As we know, the Vedavyas has given the name as Rajavidya, not Rajavidya. What is the king of knowledge? So the name was, what was the Sanskrit name? I just have to recollect. But anyways, is it Rajavidya or king of knowledge?
Yes, Prabhuji, Rajavidya.
Rajavidya only, yeah? I was confused with the other book that we had studied.
It is Param Guhyam Gnanam, Prabhuji.
Param Guhyam Gnanam. Okay.
Gnanam.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, we will find.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Second word is Rajavidya.
Rajavidya. So the most confidential knowledge, and the acronym is luckily we got the acronym also as King. K stands for knowledge, the inconceivable relationships. N stands for non-worship, and G stands for glories of bhakti. So that is what we will see. And oh, where did we come here? Okay. So why is the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called most confidential? Just pay the attention to what we discussed, and why the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be realized by mental speculators and academic scholars. Does the soul become inactive after leaving this body? What is the highest perfection of religion? What makes the process of devotional service a happy one? What is meant by saying that devotional service eternally exists? Who cannot accomplish the process of devotional service? What are the second-class men in Krishna consciousness like? Supreme Personality of Godhead is not perceivable through. Okay. So just give me a minute. Sorry for that. Okay. So, wait. Okay, so before we go on to that part, let's quickly find out what are the different types of bhaktis mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, so that we can relate to this chapter in a very appropriate way. So Karma Mishra Bhakta or Karma Mishra Bhakti, we can also say one is elevated to a celestial kingdom. So when you do Karma Mishra Bhakti, then you will be going to a celestial kingdom. That means higher planets you will be going. So, but you will not go to the spiritual world, but you will be going to the higher planets. Is that okay or not okay? Can somebody tell? Because most of us come under that category of Karma Mishra Bhakti. I'm not trying to label anybody, but if you see majority of the those who have got little inclination towards bhakti, they come into this category. And one of the reasons why it is one-way advantages, because they go to a higher planets, so their standard of living will be higher. But at the same time, in the higher planets also, you have a chance for getting more, putting your time and effort towards the higher goals in life, which is more to do with your devotional life also. When you go to the lower planets than whatever planet we have, then you will be more in trouble, and you cannot really focus on your devotion. So, so this whatever we are trying to achieve is okay. Okay. Next comes Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Jnana Mishra Bhakti is basically, what I'm trying to say is, this is not a pure devotional service, but it is Mishra. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, one is able to merge into the Brahman effulgence. But we know that the disadvantage of this is that they have to come back to the material world again and realize they should get realized, and they should come back, they will come back to this material world. And again, if they can get the right kind of an association, then they can move to pure bhakti. But since they already have understood that this, what is the difference between material world and spiritual world, that is an easy journey for them to a certain extent. Yoga Mishra Bhakta, we have seen in the previous chapter. One is able to realize the omnipotency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he can see Brahman realization can happen, or to a large extent he will be able to see the Paramatma level realization can happen. Bhagavan realization does not happen for Yoga Mishra Bhaktis, or when you do Yoga Mishra Bhakta. Okay, now this is where Krishna is going to emphasize on something which is what we need to focus on. Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti means Akinchana Bhakti. This is the other name for Shuddha Bhakti, is Akinchana Bhakti or Raganuraga Bhakti. Raganuraga Bhakti is what we will elaborate on that. Akinchana Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti. These are all different names given for the same thing. And in English, if you wanted to say, it is pure unalloyed devotional devotion. So that's what, as Snehal Mataji earlier mentioned. So that is what, and this is what the most confidential knowledge is coming under this Shuddha Bhakti. Okay, the question that I have raised earlier is that the question was why it is called most confidential when all the slokas are revealed here and you know how to go, and why is that we are not able to, and what is that which is lacking for if you wanted to achieve that. So what is the key? See, if it is confidential, if it is secret, you need to know what is the secret code behind it, so that you can unlock it. So that is what Krishna is going to give you. But again, where is that lock? We will see that. Somebody has a chat information. Okay. Kevala Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti are same, Prabhu. Yeah, more or less these are words same, but understand one thing, pure devotion, that's what unalloyed pure devotion is. That how we can define that is basically a pure devotee always engages in pure service. And what is that? As per the Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is mentioned, Anukulena Krishna Silanam Bhaktir Uttama. So basically, whatever is favoring and pleasing Krishna, that is what you are going to do. And you are not doing anything which is not favoring your bhakti and devotion towards Krishna. See, a lot of people have this question. Where I wanted to come to bhakti, but again, my financial situation is not so good. So let me earn a lot of money, and maybe after 5 years, I'll come back to bhakti, or I will do devotional service. So what do you say about these kind of people who are telling you this? And in fact, that is most of the time we also see that in our earlier days also people used to say all this bhakti and all that, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is only fag end of your life. When you are retired, you should do this, not earlier. Is that true, or what's your?
No, Prabhuji, it is false.
Okay, so
Prabhuji, maybe it is related to age, not the money. I mean, the excuses can be the age, not the money, maybe.
Propriety of death is not owned by old people, it is owned by all.
Yeah, that is true. So it is a trick of mind also. So I was also listening to one of the lectures where it is mentioned that now the point is, are we supposed to take care of our family? So you need to earn money, and now you see that how do I balance my life then? That's the whole point. Now, how much I need to put my time in spiritual activities, how much I need to put on my material activities. This is a big question, and there is so much of confusion in a lot of devotees' minds also.
What I understand is that when we are into material world,
wait a minute, Prabhuji, your voice is not clear, and it is very jarring effect is coming. So can you keep your microphone a little away and speak? Yeah, you can go ahead now, Prabhu. Try.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what I was saying is, I mean, sorry to interrupt over here, but yeah, I mean, when we talk about this two sides of the coin, when we are into spiritual world or when we are in the material world, but material world can be converted in spiritual world when we'll keep Krishna in the center. Every activity, right from whatever we do, if we keep Krishna in the focus, probably our material world also gets realigned with the spiritual world.
Yes, that is correct, Prabhu. I totally agree with you. Now, the point what I am trying to bring in here is that sometimes what happens is that in our life, we wanted to make some decisions and make some choices. In that choices, we wanted to take up more on the material front, because if you have more money, then at later point of time, you can focus more on your spiritual goals. So if that is the way you wanted to do, and if you are going in that direction, what is the pitfall? If there is any pitfall, if that is the way we should go, why don't we do that? What is the pitfall there? Yeah, Malti Mataji.
Prabhuji, I am practically, we can take the advices from the senior devotees who are having in our devotee association. From them, we can take some advices, Prabhuji, practically. So yes. I don't know about the pitfalls, but practically we can take their advices.
So one of the things that I had a similar kind of question, and what is said is that we kind of put a lot of efforts, and we kind of put we do a lot of karma prayas. See, what is destined to come to you, whether it is wealth, whether it is happiness, whatever, name, fame, whatever should come to you, it is already pre-decided. So now this is what is there in the Shastra, and I remember this Radhanath Swami Maharaj saying this, that this is all already pre-decided. Now the question may come that why is that Krishna not revealing this to me such that I do not have to unnecessarily do so much of karma prayas? Why unnecessarily I am doing that? But again, you know that when I do that karma prayas also, some people may get good amount of wealth, good amount of name, and etc. But not everybody gets it. So if I know what is Krishna plan for me, then I would have done that way, right? Why should I really put so much of effort and waste my time, energy, etc.? Did you get the same kind of question? Anybody? Is that a relevant question to our discussion, or is it really not so important for us? Because I'm seeing more from the Prabhuji's perspective, because most of the Prabhujis, I'm just not saying that for Mataji's, but and probably for Mataji's also, because they'll also be able to take part in the family front of giving the right kind of a direction to Prabhuji's also sometimes. So how should we proceed in this aspect now? If you know that Krishna has already decided how much you should get wealth-wise, happiness-wise, name, fame-wise, then why are we putting so much of our karma prayas? Why are we doing so much? Are we supposed to do or no? Yes or no? Tell me. We'll proceed from there.
I think, Prabhuji, we have to do it.
Okay. And if we have to do it, whether we should do and do a trial and error and go and do whatever way, but to find out how much I should be able to get. What is some guidelines there?
Prabhuji, we need to prioritize our this thing, and as we say, we should know our primary and secondary goal, Prabhuji. Once I had similar dilemma, and I'm thankful to Mataji when I said that I have so many other activities to do and all those things. She said these are all secondary. You need to know what is your primary goal, and apart from that, you need to spare the time and you need to find out how you are going. If you are putting Krishna in center and doing all your activities, all your this thing of the responsibilities of the family or here and there. So maybe Prabhuji, I got that Guru mantra, I will say, and started to believe that and putting Krishna and this thing, and somehow
yeah, your voice is breaking,
old age, but what is our time?
We got the essence. Thank you, Mataji. So just to put things in place now, how do we now take care of our needs, our material needs? Is basically keep to the extent where it will support your spiritual activities also. Not that your spiritual activities are compromised and you're taking care of your material needs only. So whatever is your spiritual endeavor that you're doing, doing your chanting, having the right kind of an association, whatever time you are able to give, if this is not compromised, you can take care of your material needs, because again, not to go beyond the capacity that you have. So what's the yardstick there? Whatever comes to you easily, and so if you do little bit of effort, that thing will come to you, and that much only you should do. Don't go to toil day and night and unnecessarily burden yourself and burden to compromise on your spirituality. So that's the whole point. The point is that see, it's like this. If you see I'm giving another example. If you see a bird or an elephant or any other, they also do karma prayas. How much they do? They do for the living, and they get, and without much effort. So does a bird do a lot of effort like the way we do, work 16 hours a day and compromise on our health and we get so much of spondylitis, this litis, that litis, and we destroy our health because we go beyond our capacity. So take a middle path. Always is what our Shastra also mentions, that you need to have a balance in life. So that's what we are talking about. And so yeah, if anybody has any question, you can, if not, we'll proceed. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhuji, if we are trying to balance, as you said, it very nicely explained us that material life, material and spiritual life, to how to balance it, so that we can progress in our spiritual life. But many times what we find is that this material life, as we have discussed earlier also in our, perfect questions and answers, this attachment, as we keep ourselves placed in this material aspect, the attachment keeps on increasing, and the spiritual we start hankering for more and more.
Yeah.
So probably if you could just elaborate a little bit on that how we can stop this hankering part in us. Yeah, you said association and apart. Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, so thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful question. See, one of the yardsticks, whether you are making spiritual progress or not, is that your material hankering should come down, and that balance should be coming. Not that you are giving up your material, whatever duties you have. See, you need to take care of your, because you have this material body, you have a associated dharma for that. And because of your conditioned nature, you have to take care of it. But that should not be the only thing in your life. But in addition to that, you need to have a balance of doing your material dharma and spiritual dharma. So both should go in parallel. And come to a stage where ideally our varnashrama dharma is there, because at the slowly we need to focus more on the spiritual dharma, because your material dharma you somehow have taken care based on your endeavor, and now you are focusing more. But you see that a lot of people, though they have enough in their life, and still they just wanted to go in that rat race. They keep on accumulating wealth. What will they do by end of their life? So don't be mad in this rat race and unnecessarily lose the opportunity that you have in this human form of life. So whatever is required, you need to do. So coming back, what was your primary question, Prabhu? How do you reduce your material attachment? That's what was your question, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
So basically, that is what we will see now. As part of your Shuddha Bhakti, Krishna is going to tell you how do you really get this Shuddha Bhakti, and how do we approach that part. The how part is what Krishna is going to talk now, because earlier in the chapters Krishna was talking more to say that devotional service is what you need to do, but now he is going to tell you how you can achieve it. This Akinchana Bhakti or Raganuraga Bhakti, how you can achieve it. The how part is emphasized, and you will get the answer. If not, we will have a discussion on that. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
And we will also get the answer for why this is called most confidential, and how to get, what is the key for getting this most confidential knowledge also we will get to know. So please remind me that my focus for today is to get you these two, not much. Probably will not discuss a lot of slokas from this chapter. Maybe one we might touch. Let us see. So the pure bhakti does not depend on karma, jnana or yoga or the previous whatever is said. For it simply consists of loving affairs. A pure devotee always engages in pure service. Whatever I said, Anukul Lena Krishna Silanam Bhaktir Uttama. So basically that is whatever is helping you to come closer to Krishna, that is what you will take up, and the other things Pratikulena Varjitam. It is also said that whatever is not favoring, you will just leave it. So that is what we Eventually, we will come to that platform, and how to do that, we'll see. Okay. So this is another sloka which Savai Pumsan Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adokshaje Ahituki Apriyata Eyatma Suprasidati. The highest pursuit of all humanity is Shuddha Bhakti. Highest pursuit. This is what it is. Shuddha Bhakti. Bhakti performed in order to please Krishna. So you need to know the definition for what is Shuddha Bhakti. So that is the reason why this particular sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam I am trying to quote here. So Bhakti performed in order to please Krishna, the transcendent Lord Adokshaja, by all one's effort of body, mind and soul. Such Uttama Bhakti is continuously performed without any personal desire. Anyabhilashita sunyam. That means you do not have any personal desire. Doesn't mean that you do not have desires, but you do not have personal desires, selfish desires. You do not have. And without any break. Very important. People say that some of the learnings from this particular sloka is that Uttama Bhakti is continuously performed. It is not like I do it today, I take a break tomorrow, and again after 1 month I will do. No, it is continuously performed without any personal desire. So when am I doing chanting? I am doing it continuously every day, my prescribed rounds, whatever may be the situation, I am able to do it, and at the same time without any personal desire. And without any break also. In this way, one can fully satisfy the self, the Atma. So that is what. So if you want the Atma Trupti, you wanted to get that happiness, whatever your Atma or your soul is desiring, that you will be able to get only when you are in the Shuddha Bhakti. Any questions so far? Okay, so now you may ask, what is the difference between the previously what Krishna said, the devotional service versus this devotional service we are talking about? See, previously the first level, what Krishna said is that the devotional service is rendered in accordance with the regulative principles. So whatever is there in the regulative principles, that is what we are doing. And the second is a little, it is a higher at a consciousness level also. The second refers to the spontaneous loving service to the Lord without any extraneous endeavors. So it is naturally you are able to come to that kind of a state, not because of some desires that you have. I wanted to go, I wanted to be here, nothing like that. Like that is the reason why it is called Rupanuraga Bhakti, or you can also say that whatever gopis have shown that kind of a loving relationship with the Supreme Lord, and that kind of a consciousness is what we are talking about. Because if you see, they didn't have any personal desires. Because sometimes when we are doing chanting also, I ask, why do you wanted to do chanting? Some devotees say that I'm doing chanting because I'm fed up with this material world. I don't want to come to this Janma Vritti Jara Vyadhi. So I just wanted to get relieved. So is that not the right kind of a, what's wrong with that kind of a target?
Here Krishna is not there, Prabhuji.
So Krishna is not there, your personal desire is there. So here it is saying that without any personal desire, so my intention is not for my personal gain. I do not want to come to this material world because if there is Janma Vritti Jara Vyadhi. Okay, if you are doing with that kind of a mindset, that's to one extent it is fine. Because if you are doing it, you may go to a higher level of, in the planetary system, where you can continue your bhakti, if not this lifetime, but in later lifetime. But if you wanted to go back to Goloka, you need to have this kind of a Shuddha Bhakti. That means you need, as Priti Mataji initially said that, so you need to purify yourself. And that purification is going to happen. And when it comes, and you are getting purified with all your body, mind and soul is purified, then you will be able to go back to Goloka. right? So how do we, the very $1 million question is that how do we get this Raganuraga Bhakti or the Shuddha Bhakti? How will I get? That's the whole point, right? So can somebody think about or have some inputs on how do you think we can get this Rupanuraga Bhakti or this Shuddha Bhakti or Akinchana Bhakti? How we can get? What do you think?
Continuous practice in Krishna consciousness, Prabhu, with the help of Sadhu Sangha.
Okay, very close. Very nice. Anybody else? So, by hearing such instructions, many people enter bhakti, and such bhakti is called Vaidhi Bhakti. So, when you hear about this and you wanted to come into bhakti mark, this is called Vaidhi Bhakti. That means you are trying to follow the in accordance to the regulative principles that are given. So now he is going to talk about that bhakti which is based on genuine greed is called Raganuraga Bhakti, Vraja Bhakti. Vraja Bhakti, that is what is exhibited by gopis in the Brajavasis. Such greed is generated by hearing the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis described in Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading the books of Goswamis, and especially by being in the association of Raganuraga Bhaktas. As Malti Mataji rightly mentioned, how can you cultivate this Shuddha Bhakti or by hearing, and as Tat Shunu, that's what Krishna said, Tat Shunu. So when you are able to read the pastimes of Krishna as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, and again these pastimes of the Krishna, and you are hearing not from by any Mayavadis or any other, but in the association of the devotees, and you are hearing from these Raganuraga Bhaktas. That means those elevated devotees, if you are able to hear from them, and then you will be able to get this bhakti. The Shuddha Bhakti, the seed will be implanted in you. So, and again, you need to understand that coming to this platform is not easy. And so what is that, why it is not easy, we'll see that. This high class standard cannot be had only by Sukruti. Okay, sometimes you may say that how did you come into this bhakti marg? You might have come to this platform, wherever we are, because of our past Sukruti, spiritually pious activities or regulative bhakti that we have done in our past life. To this extent, it is fine. But how do we get this pure devotional service? You got my point or no? Can somebody, is this point clear or you have any confusion here? Anybody? Not able to follow, or is there any difficulty to understand this? Nobody? That's
Question again, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah, could you repeat that one more time, Mataji? What did you say?
Can I have the question again, please?
Okay, the question is that the high class standard can be had only by Sukruti, the spiritual pious activities or regulative bhakti. Now, what I mean to say is that currently we all have come to a particular platform, okay, and we might have come to this platform because of our previous pious activities, or by doing regulative bhakti, whatever we have done, we might have come to this platform because of that. Okay, see, your current situation is that you understand that you need to take the spiritual path, and you have come to that platform. So that could be because of Sukruti that you have attained, because of your spiritual pious activities that you have performed in your previous life or in this life, and also for following the regulative bhakti. That means doing this many rounds of chanting, etc., etc. Right? Now, if you wanted to attain this pure devotional service, it is a rare commodity. So, how will you get that is what is mentioned in this Koti Janma Sukritir Na Labhyate. What does it mean is that if one gathers Sukruti from thousands and thousands of birth in relation to Krishna and his devotees, or in the relation to anything related to Krishna, then it will be the real Sukruti. So, you will be able to get the real Sukruti after putting a lot of, like basically it means to say that it's not so common kind of a thing. And how to get it, we'll also see down the line. When Sukruti is in large, yeah, somebody has a question?
Can I give some input on this, Prabhu?
Yeah, you go ahead. You have something to say? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Go ahead, Mataji.
This is the question been asked to Prahlad Maharaj when he was in the Gurukula, but some of his friends and all the Sahajai, you and me are the same age. Then how did you notice and how did you get this much of knowledge where people are not aware? Then Prahlad will answer in such a way that this has been carried out from a previous janma, where I have satsang, and in my mother's womb, I was hearing the same from Narada. So this is all can be happened only because of satsanga.
Yes, that's correct, Mataji. That is what is revealed here. When Sukruti is in large enough quantity, you will have a darshana of an exalted devotee. So what I am trying to say is that if you continue to do your pious activities, continue to do your regulative bhaktis, whatever you are doing, and a stage will come where that quantity will be, that Sukruti what you have accumulated will be good enough such that you will have a darshan of an exalted devotee. The sadhu sangha will be achieved. So as you said, as Sharda Mother rightly mentioned, for Prahlad Maharaj also, getting the sadhu sangha was not an easy thing, but he got it because prior to that, in his previous lives, he might have done all that such that that all got accumulated. His eternal bank balance has increased so much that he got a association of the exalted devotee. So that sadhu, as it is mentioned in our Shastra also, Lagu Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So if you can get that kind of a sadhu sangha, then our bhakti lata will, the Shuddha Bhakti will start sprouting. So that is not easy, but that is how you are, because coming out of this material entanglement, the material desires and whatever baggage that we are having is so difficult. But if you come in contact with the Shuddha Bhakta, like we are more or less very fortunate because we have the association of Srila Prabhupada, who is an exalted devotee. And don't think that we do not have this exalted devotee in our life. We have the exalted devotee in our life, but why am I emphasizing this so much? Because we need to understand that we are very lucky that we got association of the exalted devotee like Srila Prabhupada, and through his association, we are able to understand and able to speak and able to comprehend these shastras which are not comprehensible. Just imagine if you have read any other spiritual religious textbooks, you wouldn't have got this much knowledge at all. It is because of the mercy and causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are indebted to him for life, because he has put these things in such a way that we are now able to reap that benefit, and he said, I am there, though I might have leave my material body, I'm there with you in the form of my books. And when you read it, and he has put all the information because so nicely that it is as if Srila Prabhupada is speaking to you. Just read the purports of this 9th chapter. You will start expressing the love and gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, how much he might have thought about, and with that mercy, he has given all this information to make you what? To make you a pure devotee, and to become to render unalloyed pure devotional service. So,
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead, Mother.
Prabhuji, coming to this platform, right now what we are having this devotee association, it is saying that we have that Sukruti. So I understood that. But continuing and reaching our goal takes also our own endeavor, or our mana prayatnam will reach this goal, or okay, we have that Sukruti, no need to do any effort and reaching the goal, or it is like it little bit controversial. Only the Sukruti makes to reach our goal, or we, and I know that we also do our effort and some faith, follow the instructions. Again, if Sukruti will make us to reach the goal, then what, how our role, I mean mana prayatnam elanti role play chestundi Prabhuji indulo.
Got it, Mataji. I see that point what you made. So first of all, sometimes it is our destiny that see, our endeavor can take only to some extent. After that, you need to ask for mercy, and asking for mercy is basically that asking for mercy and depending upon mercy is what will take you to the rest of the journey. See, the initial journey is through your endeavor, right? But you are continuing your endeavor. But but you wanted to go to the next level, your endeavor is not enough. That means your endeavor only is not enough. Understand this. You are not becoming lazy and you are left all that. Whatever endeavor you are trying to do, you need to continue to do your endeavor, especially in the spiritual regulative, whatever we are doing, following the regulative principles, doing your chanting, whatever, all these ABCD you are doing. You know what is ABCD? Association, books, chanting, diet. You are doing all these. But now, you come to a stage where this itself is not going to take you to the highest level. Because to take you to the highest level, what you need to have is that in addition to your endeavor of ABCD, you should also seek for the mercy. And that mercy you will be able to get when what do you call it as without any. So basically this mercy you will get from Krishna and Guru by their own free will, not based on your endeavor. Please understand this. You get
yes,
it?
Prabhuji.
So
yes, Prabhuji.
This process, you are not demanding. You are not demanding, and you do not have any particular craving for it. You are asking for their mercy, and if their mercy is there, you are going to get. You are eventually going to get it, but you don't crave for it. And just think about the pure devotees like gopis. They do not abhilashita shunyam. That means you do not have any personal desire. Because when you ask for mercy also, you might ask for that mercy because of your personal desire. But that's a really tricky question and the tricky thing. So you are asking for mercy for what? So that you can come to your natural constitutional position. That means to do the service to the Supreme Lord, to do the service to Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. So Hari Guru Vaishnava is what you need to be associated with and do service. And to do that service, you need to have the mercy also. It's not a mechanical process. Got it right? So I know it is little complicated in one way, but if you understand.
Yes, Prabhuji. That is why this is called as most confidential. A little bit.
You got the point. Very well said.
Yes.
Very well said, Mata. So it is most confidential because getting the mercy of the Supreme Lord, getting the mercy of the senior Vaishnavas, getting Sadhu Sangha, all this is not in your hands. You might say, most of the time we say that I am doing my endeavor, so I should get it. So that is not what is most confidential information is that it is going to come, but again, it is not with your endeavor only. Your endeavor, if you are doing it, whatever time will come, you need to just wait. So that is how it is. Hope this is clear. Very good question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
By putting that question, the things have been clarified. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So I think we are beyond our stipulated time and it is too late and the families may not be comfortable. It's 9:15. So probably we will end here. Okay, so probably one more slide and I will end there. Okay. Okay, so
Dr. Latamata is asking question from chat box.
Yeah.
How to get mercy of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava?
How to get the, see, it's basically how to get it. So we'll see that. I will show you. End. Okay, why this is not coming up? So one other thing I want to share here. This is also from Srimad Bhagavatam. So again, this is talking at a different level, but again, so what was the question, Mataji? Prabhuji, you said there is some question.
How to get mercy
of Guru Vaishnava?
You cannot basically, you need to really depend upon ask for that mercy and by asking in a humble mood. So let me stop the share. Okay, so one should ask for this mercy and do service, do menial service, and through so basically the three guesses, what is that? Seva, Swadhyay, and Sadhana. So when you keep doing this, slowly purification will start coming, and your consciousness is now getting purified, and that purification, in that purification mode, your senses are purified, and automatically a stage will come. We don't know when. A time will come when we will get some senior exalted devotee in our life, and you will be able to serve him personally, your Guru and Vaishnavas, and in turn Krishna also. And that when you do that, then this most confidential information or most confidential knowledge can be revealed to you. And because it's a revealed knowledge, it's not a knowledge which is coming out by reading a book. It has to be revealed, and that revelation will come from that senior Vaishnava, from that exalted devotee, and that will really make you purified. So this is, again, I have not come to that platform to explain all to that level, but whatever little bit of hearing that I did based on that I am saying. But whatever information I have shared with you is what I heard. It's not concocted based on my own this thing. But to reiterate the point, how will I get that mercy of these Guru, Hari, Guru and Vaishnava? It is that your sincerity, whether you have faithfully doing your sadhana, swadhyay and seva is what is more decided, and Krishna and the Guru will send a Vaishnava and a spiritual Guru in your life such that you can have their association. And we more or less, we are very fortunate that we got Srila Prabhupada in our life, but you really have to take care of putting that faith and continue this, follow the instructions what Srila Prabhupada has given. And definitely a day will come where you will experience that bliss, and not after this life. In this life only you will be able to experience that bliss. Little bit I am able to experience, very, very little, but again, the day will come in your life, in each one of, I think a lot of you are seniors, you might have experienced, but the material hankering will come down, and you will be able to have a peaceful lifestyle, and you will be able to associate and dovetail your activities with Krishna. It is not just theoretical, it is going to happen, and you can see that you can experience that, that you are able to remember Krishna, not just during your chanting time only, but in other times also. It will take some time, but once you follow and continue faithfully in this sadhu sangha, whatever we have, the association of the devotees, then things will. They say that as per the Shastra, they say that your time wise, you should spend 20% of your time with seniors, and 20% of your time with your juniors, and 60% of the time with your equals on the spiritual platform level, not on the material platform. So if you follow this percentage, then you should be able to reap the benefit, and you should be able to grow spiritually much faster. Because see, from my perspective also, to be very frank, I am not a very senior exalted devotee. I am also like you and me. So we are like having that time. But you should always be able to take senior devotee association. 20% of your time, you should always seek senior devotee association. And why junior association 20%? They say that when you come to a platform where you can preach them also, so you are able to share the information, but not prematurely. But again, if you feel that you can spend some time, that 20% can give. Don't put 60% of your time with your juniors. Again, that is also not the right kind of calculation. So put that kind of a. So hope I answered that. Dr. Lata Mataji, is that okay? You have any other follow-up question? It is already 9:25. I don't think I should be able to extend this, because it will be wrong on my part to wake you up or keep you till this time. Any other questions, Govardhan Prabhu? Are we good?
Yes, Prabhu. No other questions.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Matarji said thank you also.
So I know this, we would systematically discuss this. I just started somehow, but again we will systematically discuss this matter more. And if you have any doubts, please do send it to any of us, and we will able
Prabhuji, this knowledge is like going deep and becoming tough and understanding. It will like difficult. And listening class is okay, but again thinking, remembering something, putting on paper, like it will be really tough to grasp after some time. So it will become little bit difficult. So I don't, how we can remember or practice some things unless until we keep something in our mind. So we cannot continue our remembrance. Remembering Krishna is different, and getting knowledge and remembering.
I will answer your question. So first of all, understand one thing, that this knowledge what we have got till now, if you have endeavored for 20-30 years, that much knowledge Srila Prabhupada is able to communicate to you. That too, this is the highest knowledge he is able to communicate to you in a very short period of time. And the knowledge that you have gained now with whatever time this was discussed, and again it is because of Srila Prabhupada, with this knowledge, it has immensely benefited your eternal bank balance, eternal spiritual bank balance. So don't worry about the rest of the things, how much you remembered, how much you have not remembered. Continue the your sadhana, swadhyay and seva. Continue to do that. It is not, as I earlier mentioned, you need to continuously do it without any break. Understand this. Previous sloka we discussed that in the video. When it is shared, please go through it. So basically is that once you understand this, it's a journey, and we don't know how many lifetime it is going to take to go back to Goloka. But again, you are not going to lose whatever you are gained in your bank balance. So it will be utilized in your next life, whatever life you get, whichever life you get. So don't worry about it. So too much thinking about what will happen and how much effort I need to put, just depend upon Krishna. You see, we think that our mindset is always saying that I have to remember. But actually, remembrance also Krishna is going to give you. So forgetfulness and remembrance Krishna is going to, we are dependent. So all this should culminate in saying that how much you are able to depend upon Krishna, how much you are able to remember Krishna. So that should increase as we increase our duration of our association, and as we continue our journey. So I know that your question was very deep, but the point what I'm trying to say is that to remember all these facts, you might say that I need to put a lot of effort to do that. Yes, there is an effort involved. You need to do your swadhyay, but you need to study properly, you need to document properly, you need to recollect properly, you need to afterwards when somebody is discussing, you should be able to recollect it, you need to be able to. So but again, that is part of your sadhana, you have to do it. So no doubt about it, because in that process of sadhana, whom you are trying to understand, whom you are trying to please, you are trying to please and understand Krishna only. So you are getting connected to Krishna. Anything that is getting connected to Krishna is going to purify your consciousness, and that will be going to add to your eternal bank balance. So all is getting properly invested, don't worry. So that's one thing. And in that process, you are not depending upon your own endeavor. Your endeavor is there, but we are seeking for Krishna's mercy to remember also. So yes, you understand this. Because of our material education, we are, see, most of your answers when I asked what is most confidential knowledge, why it is called most confidential, what is confidential, all of us are prone to say that we have to put our efforts, and when you do your sadhana. But one thing we should remember, that slowly we need to move towards depending upon Krishna. The more we depend upon Krishna, that is where you are remembering Krishna. Whatever is the situation in your life, this is Krishna's mercy. This is because of Krishna. If he is willing this way, let it be so. If it is whatever it is, whether it is come in your favor, not in your favor, Krishna is responsible. But it is not like a lazy person you are saying that, but with faith and conviction and with that consciousness we are doing it. That will come. Don't prematurely come to a platform and give up things. You have to take care of your family. You have to take care of your bodily needs. You have to, and all these conditioned material efforts are there. In addition to that, you need to balance your spiritual life. At one point of time, your spiritual life will start dominating on you, and now you will be towards understanding what is bhakti. And that stage will come not just based on your effort itself, not just based on your endeavor, but there is an influence of the third party, which is Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. They will come in your life, and they coming in your life is also not purely based on your endeavor. It is based on mercy. And the only thing, if you wanted to ask for, is ask for that mercy. When it will come, how it will come, it's all dependent upon the third party. And we just have to wait and see, that's it. So we see, that is what is tension-free life. So if in bhakti also you find that if there is so much of tension, and you wanted to always, I need to get Hari, Guru and Vaishnava association, I'm not getting. What is bhakti here then? So it should be tension free, because it is like you are a small kid and you are in the lap of your mother, and you are totally dependent. So that kind of a feeling, that kind of a situation is what you need to understand. And in spirituality, that is where you need to go. And you need to see, when Srila Prabhupada went to West, he said, he has written a poem. In that, he says that, Nachao, so basically he says that in that poem, Krishna, I am like a, what do you say, Katputli, a toy which is just hanged and it is controlled by the ropes by somebody. So I'm so basically, I am like that Katputli, and the strings are in your hands, and the way you want me to dance, I will dance. So that is an exalted devotee and is a pure Vaishnava. And each one of us, unless until we go to that kind of a state, and we will not be eligible to go to the Goloka. Because impure minds and impure devotees are not having eligibility to go there. See, understand one thing. It is not easy. But again, going to Goloka and getting Krishna's association, it's not an easy thing too. So you need to really put your efforts. But again, more than your efforts, you have to have that faith and the consciousness required such that you will be eligible to get Krishna's mercy. Okay, I think I made the point. Please contemplate on these terms, and slowly you will be able to understand. And I am not exalted so much to put it in a nice way, but I tried. But I will also do my little bit of introspection, the way it can be communicated better. But for now, this is what I can. So thank you very much, Matajis, Prabhujis, for your excellent participation and putting it in the way that I could understand. So we will do a little bit of Kirtan and we'll end. So Behra Prabhu, are you there? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Manoj Kumar Behra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Can you do Kirtan for a few minutes, Prabhu, and we'll end?
Yeah, 1 minute, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I would like to learn this from you. That's my personal selfish desire. Repeat, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra
Hare
ki
Krishna Mahamantra ki jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brahma ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Behra Prabhu, for such a nice tune, and you are my guru for learning Kirtan. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
And once again, thank you all for today's session, and please forgive me for the delay. It's beyond the expected time. So tomorrow I'll be out of station. So morning Japa session I'll be there, but evening session, Dahara Prabhu, you are taking the lead role tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please, I will try to join. I would like to, but if possible, I'll definitely join. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Matajis. Thank you very much. Please forgive me again for the delay. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Ji, Dandavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.
Krishna Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.